Hello, so my tables topics presentation is over race, gender, class, and sexuality in social media and in language, and based how it is like put on social media for the whole world to see, and based on language by how you direct the person. So obviously race is like color of people's skin and different cultural backgrounds. Gender is like female and male duties, so like females stay home and cook is what they're supposed to be known as, and males do the work and bring home money to like support the families. That's obviously not the case anymore, but that's what it's labeled as. Class is lower, middle, and upper. So lower is poor, middle is average, and upper is rich. And that could be classified as like a physical appearance or what things people own. And sexuality is by like trans people who go from either female to male or male to female and trying to like identify themselves and who they are as a person. So let's get started. My first article is the positive side of these things in social media. So it educates people on plenty of information regarding social inequalities and how these issues are issues to people, and why they keep becoming an issue, and why it's always been a problem in society. And this article is like expressing in healthy ways of how we can go about this if people are in disagreements, and how to keep opinions nice and not be so open in expressing them on social media, because it can be taken in a very wrong way. And social media can be a positive platform within these social inequalities. It also like all depends on what people are reading, what people are watching, and making sure it's a good thing. So yes, and then social media has created a connected world where major implications for social progress and global justice infrastructures can post information in which the world depends on. So social media is like obviously how the world is all connected in some way in different parts of the world. So applying this in your social progress and like global justice helps people like understand the social inequalities with all these different cultures and how to like express them and have them intertwine in a positive way. It gives examples of situations and by celebrity platforms. So celebrities giving an opinion on something that is positive helps people like understand their perspective more in a very weird way, because celebrities have a very big impact on how people think and like what they feel, because they're major like leaders and they have a lot of followers. So if they express one thing, usually a lot of people like follow them and what they are saying. So that definitely changes people's perspectives a lot. And social inequalities are everywhere. So being educated on which of these categories mean and what it can mean to people when directed about it or posted about it is very, very, very important. So social media can help people in these situations that feel different be educated on like why people feel a certain way and like why they feel this way about them, and how to like respond when something negative is said to them, either through a phone screen or in person. So it just helps like express ways for people to understand both sides and have it not be a negative thing, and if it does become a negative thing, how to avoid it. So my next article is obviously the negative side. And this states that this has keyed up many growing tensions between elites and populace, and if it continues, it could pave the way for more equitable economic systems. So obviously with like, for example, like the Black Lives Movement, that grew a lot of tension between different societies and it caused a lot of problems. So it's very important to realize that these things are they're directed very differently now. It's not as like not such like a quiet thing. So it discusses like the negative impacts on social media and it has on societies, and while it keeps many societies open, it also increases instability. So it makes it a very negative environment when things are expressed the wrong way. So, and social media is a very quick platform to express how you feel, and things can be taken in a very wrong way because people these days on the internet take things very wrongly and shouldn't, because let's say you put a period in a statement, people think that's like you upset. So social media can just be taken in the very wrong way. It is not always the best place to put a platform of opinions on there. So the connection between the two is that social inequality will always be a thing, but it is important to be educated on both sides of why people think certain things about these categories in a positive or negative way. And social media makes that very complicated because it expresses it in not a very good way of what a person may be trying to say and be taken totally wrong. So it is important to remember who is watching and who your audience is. And people will always have an opinion, so it's important to realize that opinions are opinions, they're not facts, they don't matter, and I know it's very hard for people in a mental state to see that and realize that it shouldn't bother them or affect them, but these, like, activities and, like, that positive article should, like, help people express how they're feeling in a positive way, or how to go about situations like that. So in my opinion, I believe that everybody should be treated respectfully and equally because we're all humans, we all have feelings. Kindness should be directed towards everybody. It's not cool, and it should have never been cool to ever treat someone that disrespectfully about their culture, appearance, or class, because people are just trying to be themselves. And positivity should never be a hard thing to justify, and I hope that this world comes to that realization. And it could also affect people's futures, because I know people personally that have been affected by this and now have lost a lot of opportunities because of things they have posted or said about things like this. So it is never smart to even post really much about this unless it's a very mutual thing or a positive thing. The questions I'd want people to reflect on are, how would you feel if you were different in any of these categories, and what would be your first response to something negative being said about you and set you in a category that everyone now sees you as, and what positive change would you make in this world to change these categories into unique positive things for people to look up to you on? And what category do you think would affect someone the most in their lives, and why? And when identifying yourself and who you want to be, do any of these categories come to mind when figuring that out, and why that category, if one does? So I hope you enjoy this presentation, and thank you so much for watching.